All right. And hello, movie lovers. And welcome to the show. For today's podcast episode, we're going to be talking about Loki, Season 1, Episode 6. This is the season finale. All things must come to an end, sadly, because I've been enjoying it, watching this season, also, too, geeking out with these lovely people as well. With Charlie, say hello to everybody.
Hello.
Nick Krafkus, say hello to.
Hello.
And Clint Robinson.
Hey.
And Ladassia.
Hey.
So here's the thing. I loved the opening scene. It gave me goosebumps. It felt like a Twilight Zone / Stephen King, right out of the novel, of a Stephen King novel, to be honest with you, of Rose Red, to be honest with you. I love seeing that whole entire dynamic play out. Loki and, of course, Lady Loki goes on ahead. They go inside, and they're looking around. They don't know anything. They're just looking around trying to figure out who's actually in charge of this, and then all of a sudden this one dude, well, hold on, there's actually Miss Minutes that shows up, and at first I'm like, okay, so am I going to go back on my theory where I said I think Miss Minutes might actually be in charge of this though too? And then because here's the thing, I actually said that, I said, no, I'm going to wave that theory out of there and go with my other theory, because that actually made more sense than have Miss Minutes, because I don't want a Disney Channel rip-off Smart House, and she's actually the one who's in charge of destroying this whole entire thing.
It's a fantastic movie.
Yes, it is.
It actually is.
I really love that movie, to be honest with you.
BBC
But I just didn't want to see it in this.
Got range.
I like that she got all menacing instead of like being helpful. Like,
Right.
like that.
And
Like they gave the AI like a dynamic range, which was weird. I loved it. But yeah, the beginning was a trip, dude. Like the beginning was like super trippy. I loved it. And then finding out that we were all right the whole time about who it was.
The deduction theory worked.
Yeah.
Yep.
We worked it out last episode and came down to who it was. I loved it. I love how they did it too, instead of making him like blue skinned and a reptilian like he is in the comics. Like I love that. Like I was kind of worried because sometimes, if you have an overly CGI'd like main bad guy, it can get a little
Right.
I feel like he's more humanizing and it's gonna draw people in.
Exactly, because I feel like, you can actually have that dynamic without the CGI. You can just go on ahead, make someone more menacing just by the way they look, the way they act, and have that creepiness to that person without having CGI attached to it. It draws that much more attention to that character, and also, too, gives more layers to that character than have it with CGI. Now, of course, whenever this other version of that villain comes back,
we don't know what the other variant's going to look like.
Right, exactly.
At least for the TV show, it worked.
Right.
Yeah. Find out,
All it really takes to make it work is just a world-class actor.
Right.
And we got one.
Yeah, exactly.
I think we'll find out he's supposed to return in it. I think his first movie role was that Ant-Man Quantumanium, like Ant-Man the Lost Quantum. That's where he's supposed to show up in. Because he didn't really reveal his name. It was just He Who Survives.
And he called himself the Conqueror and laughed. And then like it was very subtle that he said his name was, Kane the Conqueror, but it was like very subtle. But you know who it is. Like they even said he was from the 31st century, and there's only one Marvel villain from the 31st century.
Yeah.
Exactly. Same here as well. And then also, too, I liked how Lady Loki's trying to kill him, and then inside the elevator, and then all of a sudden he does that whole entire thing where he winds up doing like the TVA does and just time warps and everything too, and time loops and everything. So I thought that was really good. What about you, Ladassia? What did you like about it?
I pretty much liked everything about it. I'm not a comic book person, so I don't really know who King the Conqueror is. But I'm glad the way they unraveled it for people who don't read comic books, because as far out there as it was understandable. You got what he was doing, and I liked the deal that the first deal was Miss Minutes, which I thought was interesting because I wasn't sure if Loki was gonna take it. But once they got past Miss Minutes, and then he offered another deal for them to take his place, I was with Loki Hiddleston, where he was saying, no, he's not lying. Like, you don't know what's on the other side of him, that he had to beat them down to basically keep this timeline, and you don't want to unleash that. And I really thought that was interesting. And I don't know the actor who plays the guy who's at the end. I don't know who he
Jonathan
is.
Majors.
What's his name?
Jonathan Majors.
Oh, okay. But I like, some people are very menacing when they try to be funny. And he was very good at, I'm so funny. It's so much comedy. Look at all these papers I'm showing of the script of your life. But he was menacing. And it was clear that he was trying to hide it. Or not hide it, but the funny was menacing to me. And I really enjoyed that.
Well, I think he wanted them to kill him.
Yeah. He even smiled about it. I think he wanted to die.
Yeah.
And I think it wasn't like, I don't think it was because he wanted like the whole multiverse war or anything. I think it's just like he was done with it. Like, we don't know how long he'd been alive, and he was sitting in his own madness for so long. Alone.
Or he knows he's going to come back as the Conqueror, as we saw at the very end.
He said, "See you soon."
Yeah.
And then we saw monuments to him.
And also, too, another thing that I really have to say that I liked was now we see the transformation of Tom Hiddleston's Loki. Because remember whenever Miss Minutes goes, well, if you go on and take this deal, you'll be the king over everything. Asgard, New York, all the events that happened with the Avengers and everything is now gone. You are now the ruler. Now, I believe if this was 2010 Loki, he would actually took the deal. But we're not living in a 2010 world, so he didn't take that deal. Then they finally meet King the Conqueror, and he goes, "Okay, I got another proposition for you. Since you didn't take that one with Miss Minutes, we'll get to go on ahead, and you get to rule here. Correct the timelines. Make it your own world that you can rule." And then I like how Hiddleston's just like smooth. He's just sitting there, just letting him talk everything out and lay everything out on the table. And he's like, well, there's no lying in you because I know how to lie. Because I lie. But there's no lying in you. So, and what's the consequences if I take this deal? So he's really strategizing and thinking things out and everything.
And he was right.
Right.
Yeah.
They should have gone with our boy Loki there instead of Sylvie, but
Sylvie was like the impulsive 2010 Loki that we had with the Avengers.
Driven.
Right. So that's what I felt, and I understand her reasons. I really do. But at the same time, they're about to end up knocking probably a home run because now they know who's in charge of everything, and maybe
Owen hook up.
Right. And I was actually celebrating that moment, and then all of a sudden I was like, yes! And then all of a sudden, no. Because of that.
Our first reaction was, oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
It was like, oh, gee whiz.
I love the ending where he got thrown into an alternate timeline to a different, Mobius and everything. Like, it just showed how rapidly everything degenerated. Like,
definitely.
3 minutes, everything's done.
It shows you how quick things can change in an instant, in a blink of an eye.
Oh yeah,
because of the consequences behind it. But Charlie, what about you though? What are some of the other things?
I liked the opening. I thought it was interesting, especially hearing like the old Avengers, like there's some of their like quotes and that. I liked the opening again. When the episode happened, I guess I wasn't really much of a fan of the rest of it. I liked seeing Kane the Conqueror. I liked seeing him. I think he's gonna be a good villain. I kind of like the design of the building because of all the excess and stuff. I mean, I think it's every time everybody tried to kill him, that's the remnants of their weapons or whatever. Then it was just a lot of, not much happened. I mean, sure, it was a lot said, but it's like I didn't care for Renslayer because I think there was still a lot of questions left about her because they had that brief moment while the other guard is back in her past. And yet they skipped over that, so we didn't know what really happened with that. she escaped. Mobius just got kicked, so Mobius didn't get his revenge, and then his mind got kind of wiped, and I'm just left with a lot of questions.
Yeah, well, that was an alternate timeline. They showed like an alternate timeline of Renslayer that was right past, and then they showed an alternate Mobius. So Hiddleston got sent to a different timeline.
And the motives got explained.
Yeah, everything got explained.
The only reason she's doing any of this is because if she's wrong, her own ego won't allow her to live with herself.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
I don't know, just for me, I'm just left with a lot of questions, and this show has been very hit or miss. It's even like 500. 3 good episodes, 3 not so good episodes, and I just felt like this could have been a little bit longer. They could have expanded on more stuff because I think there's a lot that we're dealing with here. And I kind of wish they expanded more. Yeah, the post-credit scene wasn't really a post-credit scene. They're saying it's coming back for season 2. I'm like, okay. Like, I mean, everyone else has had credit scenes that actually reveal what's happening next.
This is my thoughts, though, with the opening thing. It just shows you how jumbled this timeline is because of the stuff that's going to be corresponding later on. That's what I got from it. Think of it as static on a phone, and then you have all these quotes coming in from all the other Marvel movies and stuff like that. Everything's going to be miscombobulated now because of the fact that of course we know female Loki is going to wind up killing Kang at the very end of it. So therefore you're going to have all these timelines just jumbled up and misconjointed, and it's not going to be cohesive anymore. So that's what I got from all the quotes and stuff like that. And I'm like, okay, so this is a different way of actually telling us what's going to happen. And it's a little bit of a foreshadowing of what's going to happen. Exactly. And that's what I got out of that.
I think it was actually expertly crafted, especially for what they're trying to do with this, not just the series, but this episode specifically, setting up multiple films, setting up multiple series and a sequel season and everything like that. Like, looking at this, like, this is just a drop in a bigger puddle that's going to end up being what happens.
For sure.
It was expertly crafted, in my opinion.
Yeah, that was my question was, how's this going to affect the Marvel movies going forward?
Greatly.
Yeah. That's
this is actually what sets off.
Like, man, this thing get ready to get twisted.
Well, we got, the Ant-Man and the Wasp. We got Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness, Spider-Man No Way Home. We have the second season of this. We have, Thor Love and Thunder having a female Thor and a regular Thor, which I think at this point is not going to be actual Jane Foster, but somebody from an alternate timeline. Still Jane Foster, but a different one. Yeah, it's going to be variants. We're dealing with variants. Yeah, Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield are going to be variants. Oh, we lost John.
Uh-oh.
Bye, John.
I think it's still going to be the same Jane Foster. I think it's just her character. Like, I think I read in Wikipedia, her character has cancer, and she becomes Thor somehow.
Oh,
so I think
it could be. But I'm just saying, it's setting up like the whole next phase, not just like a villain, like the whole next phase.
Well, and now the mutants have an opening to come into this universe as well.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. And like the way I look at it too is, and I don't know if this is fact, I haven't looked anything into it. I watched the episode like an hour and a half ago, so I haven't had any time to look up anything else. But
why don't you know everything about it?
I don't know. I'm sorry. I apologize. But
do your job.
Oh no!
You only have one job.
I have one job.
I do a lot of homework.
But I'm thinking that this actually takes place before Scarlet Witch and WandaVision. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Because this is the Loki from 2010's Avengers, and we don't know how much time took place. And it would make sense that that's why she was able to break the multiverse in her own way, too.
Right.
Oh.
Another thing I want to actually mention is this. It's already been confirmed that Loki's going to be in Doctor Strange 2. And I didn't even know that was even connected to that at all. Because I was at work, I saw the thing on Screen Rant, and all of a sudden and get this, I went into Tamika's chat. I was like, they're gonna have Loki's gonna be in Doctor Strange 2. And the next thing you know, Tamara's like, did you watch the episode? I said no.
go do that now.
Right. Because I didn't read the article. I was just fanboying over the fact that now it's connected into Doctor Strange, which makes sense because of the fact that it's leading into the multiverse of madness because of the fact of the events of what happened with Loki. So this is actually setting up the events for multiverse of madness versus with some stuff that happened in WandaVision, which actually makes sense now.
Yeah,
for them
both
to go
Scarlet Witch,
power of the business too.
Yeah.
Because originally, Doctor Strange was supposed to be in WandaVision, so they had a contract with Benedict Cumberbatch about doing that. So, I'm assuming that's why they worked those whole Doctor Strange
references
into the finale, and then obviously the article released that he's going to be in the movie. I think they were just doing a solid and continuing the storyline in a way with similar powers that would work to the Scarlet Witch.
Yeah, and I know Scarlet Witch is supposed to be in Multiverse of Madness too. It would make sense that all three of them would get together because, all of space-time is screwed right now.
Yeah.
Really. I mean, and I mean, just going back to the episode, they just packed a lot into this little episode. And this to me really felt like a movie.
Yep.
And I was surprised that I kind of thought it was going to be like an hour and a half or something, but I was surprised that it was its normal time.
I did too.
Oh yeah, I expected a lot. It felt like it should have been a lot more while watching it, but it wasn't. And it just flowed by way too fast.
Yeah,
it did. It was like it wasn't slowing down at all, which is something I appreciate. But for the moments that it didn't slow down at all, I really loved because they did pack a lot in, but it was able to explain everything in a 46-minute period, which is something that I really liked about it. And also, too, I love the little callbacks to Doctor Strange because I actually took a snapshot on my
the windows.
Facebook. Yeah, I'm like, okay, this actually looks like a Doctor Strange reference. You look at the windows, this realm here. Then you also look at the books. And then I'm like, they mentioned Nightmare Realm. Is this also linked to the Nightmare Realm? That's also another thing I was thinking of. Nightmare Realm. Is this going to be somewhere into that part? And because it's going to be into Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness, because Nightmare is actually going to be the big baddie in this next one. Which is also why we have the horror director coming in to do this film, because Nightmare is like the Freddy Krueger of the MCU, eating.
Oh my god!
Yes,
only scarier.
Oh my god!
Run, but you can't hide, bitch.
Scarier than Freddy Krueger.
Welcome to prime time.
He can come into reality. Freddy Krueger can't.
Well, which is why I don't watch horror movies.
Well, Multiverse of Madness.
Yeah, Freddy Krueger did that to me.
Multiverse of Madness is going to be a horror film, so
in a sense, yeah.
A lot more than anything else has been.
Ooh.
I mean, we got Sam Raimi directing it, of course. And, I think he's the perfect guy to do what they're going to do. I think, and it's not just Nightmare that's going to be a villain in Doctor Strange 2. We still have the character that turned evil at the end of the first Doctor Strange, the
Mordo
guy. Like Chateau Etoile. I think that's how you pronounce his name. Yeah, he's supposed to be coming back as the villain too. So
he's supposed to be like a minion for Nightmare or something like that. Yeah,
right.
He gets like warped or something. I don't know, but yeah. Oh, lost John again.
Uh-oh.
I mean, at least he's coming back. Last time he wasn't able to. Last time we kind of had to carry it without him.
Oh,
did anybody ever go to a Nightmare concert? No. It's a good time.
The Loki will not be appearing in the new Thor movie, so that's already happening. So there is a Loki that's going to be showing up. It's not the Loki. It's Matt Damon's theater production of Loki. He's coming back.
I got a feeling Alligator Loki is going to sneak in there too.
I think so too.
I think they're just hiding it because originally, until this episode aired, Loki wasn't going to be in Doctor Strange, and until this episode, there wasn't going to be a season 2 of Loki. So I think they're just kind of trying to play off like Loki wasn't going to be a thing anymore.
Right. I think I saw something that actually confirmed Loki 2 before Loki 2 was actually season 2 confirmed. It was like on one of the Marvel pages. There's like their timeline of stuff. They already confirmed Loki 2 season 2 was going to be in this like current phase. So I kind of had a feeling that they were going to go the next season route, which is like, I think I kind of like some other shows kind of deserve a second season to pick up on stuff too, not just Loki. I definitely think Falcon and Winter Soldier deserve
well, they're going to be the Captain America movies. They're going to be the movies.
And also too, I also read another article though too, where Falcon and the Winter Soldier is also going to have their own show still.
Mm-hmm.
So
I don't think it's going to be called Falcon Winter Soldier though. I think it's going to be called something. It might just be called Captain America or something like that.
But then again, after
Captain America and the one-armed dude.
Yeah. And then, well, Anthony Mackie said, I haven't heard anything about confirming a next Captain America movie. So there's a lot
contractually obligated not to say anything.
I know they never say anything, and they lie. So I don't trust them. That comes out of their mouth.
You can't trust them.
No.
Listen, not Tom Holland.
They will always lie about stuff.
You'll have to ask Tom Holland, and they've already fed him misinformation. So
yeah,
in order to make some more money off of my products.
If the people want to watch it, they're gonna make it. So we'll have one.
Yeah, but I definitely want a second season of Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and they said that the movies for the Cap movies are actually going to link into Captain America, and I'm just going to call it what it is: Captain America and the Winter Soldier, and everything. Yeah. So that's what I'm thinking.
7.
There we go. But overall, with this episode, with this season, there was one lap. Here's the thing, like I said, with the other episode, I can respect a little bit more now than what we had before. I can respect it now for what it is. But, that was just one episode. Then after that, it was smooth sailing for me just to enjoy this one. And, at first I'm like, okay, are we doing the Wizard of Oz thing? Because, Ladassia and I, we both said that we don't want to see the Wizard of Oz type of thing. But the way they pulled this off, though, is just fantastic, though. And everything. And then also, too, I like how he explains the variants of himself and through the claymation settings.
Yes, that was good. That was really good because it helped explain why he was sitting there.
Mm-hmm.
And it was still surprising Sylvie she was so emotional that she wasn't.
Well, she hadn't been through what Tom Hiddleston had been through.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's never had revenge.
Yeah, she basically was at the same point Tom Hiddleston was at the beginning of Avengers. Because remember, the whole reason he went bad in Avengers and in the first Thor movie in Dark World was because he felt betrayed and lied to, this, that, and the other, and on a quest for vengeance. And she hadn't gone down that path yet.
Oh, yeah.
Because Loki, at the end of Dark World, he experienced what it was to be, to have succeeded. And through Avengers, he'd experienced what it was like to have succeeded and been defeated. And she hadn't done that. She'd just been on the run forever. And this Loki just hadn't experienced.
And also, too, been taken from her own home at an early age. So you also have that burning in her still. And then this guy was actually in charge of her being captured and taking her life away from her. So you have that with Selfie, though, too. So therefore, that's also more stuff that just burns her up inside more to where she wants to kill this guy and everything and don't care about the consequences, pretty much. And also, too, another thing that really, really hit me in the feels was the part where where Hiddleston's Loki is like, look, I'm not doing this for a ploy. I'm not doing this to get something out of it. I'm doing this to help you. And I don't want you to go down the same way that I went down on, the same path. Look, let's go on ahead and do what we were intended to do. Let's expose the TVA in another way. Let's not go down this road. Because if we do this, we don't know what's lurking in this other door over here after we take him down. There could be something a lot more dangerous and powerful than he is. And then also, too, I like how they actually explain how he was actually in charge. Kang was actually in charge of those monsters from Avengers, the very first Avengers movie, and how he played out through that thing. Because Loki just thought he was making a deal with this one particular person at the very first Avengers movie, but really he was making a pact pretty much with the devil, if you think about it, because of the fact that you have this other guy, Kang, controlling the monsters while making this other deal with this other villain. So you're actually doing two business deals with one person.
I don't think it was exactly making a deal with him like he was in control, but he was like, manipulating or allowing the timeline to go in certain ways.
Mm-hmm.
That's true.
It wasn't like he was like in charge of Thanos or something, but he was allowing Thanos to do X, Y, and Z.
Like there's certain things that had to happen,
and he was making sure that they did.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if that hadn't happened, then Loki wouldn't have made it to the TVA.
Mm-hmm.
No, if he would have actually took that other deal, he would have actually been the one who conquered Thanos. Which, by the way, they are doing a What If series with Loki and everything.
But it's animated. Yep.
Right.
Mm.
Oh, I was about to say, when is that?
I think it starts in a couple weeks.
Oh, okay.
But I wouldn't mind seeing what it would look like if Loki did win. If he winded up beating Thanos, I would like to see that in a little What If storyline, just to see what it would look like.
Well,
what if
nobody really knows.
King down the road? Maybe Doctor Strange too.
Loki's not a closer. Who knows? He doesn't win. I don't think he would know what to do if he won.
Right. Himself.
He would raise Satan somewhere else. I mean, he will have to have some mischief some way. It can't be just, okay, I won, and now I'm satisfied.
He'd be bored looking for
Well, you know he's going to be two-timing Sylvie.
Oh,
right.
Totally. So what happens?
And she's going to be doing it right back because they're the same fucking person.
So what happens to Gator, Loki, and the rest of them?
They're still in that world.
Oh, okay. That world doesn't change.
No, because whatever, like Loki said before with the salt shakers and the salt and pepper shakers, I cannot manipulate this world because whatever it was going to be, it was going to be. So therefore, just because I changed that alternate timeline in that part, their timeline is going to continue. Because that's the way it's supposed to be, because it's not going to alter it and everything.
Well, now that the whole timeline's out of funk, I don't know. I mean, anything could change at this point. I mean, that's the thing. Like,
literally anything's possible at this point.
Yeah, so. I mean, they enchanted the beast. He's no longer like there. I mean, you know that Kang said, "Oh, well, I opened the door for you." But that was before Sylvie. Like I knew as soon as she kissed him, I knew she was either going to do something to him. Like I was expecting her to stab him. Honestly, not like with her sword, or I didn't think Tiddleson was going to survive. She
stabbed him with her heart.
Well, literally, he did. Like figuratively, she did. But I was expecting the full-on sword to killing Loki, not kicking him into the next timeline. I just had a feeling Sylvie was so revenge-stricken that she wasn't going to be that. So I knew something was going to happen. I didn't expect Loki to survive that one. I figured she was going to.
I figured that Sylvie was not going to kill him, but I thought she was just going to kiss him and then just bum rush Kane and kill him. I thought that was how this was going to go, but
she did that.
Right, because I was actually thinking, I'm like, yes, they got finally kissed, and then all of a sudden it's like, nah. And then just shoves him away with her magic. I like the battle between them two, to be honest with you, with the magic.
That was cool.
And then also too fighting with the swords. And like a romantic kind of gesture kind of way though too. Where it's like, okay, I don't want to kill you. Please don't make me do something that I don't want to do. But in order for me to prevent this from happening, I have to kill you. And everything. It was just this romantic type of beautiful writing that I saw in it. Where it's like this beautiful dance of tango, basically, of who's going to win.
A dance of blades.
Yes.
Yeah.
By the way, that book will be out after J.J. Martin actually publishes his book.
Yeah.
George R.R. Which is never going to happen.
It's definitely refreshing, though, to see Loki actually cross blades with someone.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I've never won that fight. Sylvie's the stronger one of the two. She was going to eat. Like, I was surprised Loki was able to hold his own because I figured she was going to eat. Like,
well, he's the strongest with magic. So, and that's why he's able to hold his own.
Yeah, if he wanted to go all out, I feel like he would win.
He was holding back. He had multiple opportunities. And he held back.
No, we lost John again.
Oh. Nah, and I think Sylvie probably would win a battle between them because her magic is pretty strong, but her will seems like it's stronger than Hiddleston's.
Yeah, I mean, we're talking if he's going all out, you know.
Yeah.
Wills would probably be matched, but yeah, I think in like the matchup that we saw, if it was going to continue, she was going to cut his head off.
Oh
yeah. If he kept holding
it off, yeah.
She had it in her head already. Because look how close she came to actually cutting his head off.
It looked like there was a cut on his neck too. It looked like I thought it was going to start bleeding around the way it looked, the way how close that blade was that she got with it. I thought she nicked him a little bit, but
I think he just created it with his magic to make her feel bad.
Classic Loki.
That is a Loki play. That is a Loki play.
It didn't work anyway. She still kicked him like in that.
I know.
And then she felt bad about it, and I was like, "Really? This is what your decision? You just screwed up the whole timelines. Congratulations."
I like the way after she kills him, and then she kind of sits down like,
oops.
And I'm like, what in the world? What you thought was gonna happen? The man told you don't know what's on the other side of killing them.
He didn't even know what's on the other side of killing him completely.
Yeah.
It's new infinite versions of him.
It's her blonde showing.
Oh no.
Like, oh my gosh. Oh no. What I do now?
But yeah, I definitely love this. This is actually the best, probably a good season finale on the way they actually ended the show. And then, of course, I felt bad though that Morbius and Loki didn't have that chemistry back and forth, because now he doesn't remember him, and now I'm thinking that Loki
it's a different Morbius,
right?
Yeah,
right. I just feel right. And I have a feeling that Loki once again has to go in there and convince him of who he is, the things that they went through this other timeline, and everything, and trying to reconvince him again after all that struggle. And now Loki has to go in and reconvince Owen Wilson's character again of who he is, what happened to him. So yeah,
and he didn't get a jet ski.
No jet ski, no revenge, no nothing for Morbius.
Yeah, basically it's gonna turn into a Lady Sif episode. Like, oh god.
And his salad's going to get destroyed again.
Yeah.
Yeah. God.
As far as everything else goes, is there anything else that you want to talk about and dive into as far as this episode goes, or do you think we pretty much covered everything that we wanted to talk about?
Well, I do have a theory.
Go ahead, Nick.
Now, it doesn't pertain directly to this episode, but I think Mobius is a Thor.
Okay.
Hear me out.
Is it just because of the blonde hair?
One reason, blonde hair, blue eyes.
He's Thor on jet skis.
2, he knows he can defeat him, as in Loki. So meaning maybe he's got past experience fighting against Lokis. And 3, the jet ski. We know he likes to bro down. What does our Thor do when he is faced with absolutely nothing to do? He gets hammered drunk to a point that he gains 8,000 pounds.
It's a different kind of bro down.
Different kind of bro down, but we have an alligator Loki, so maybe we haven't Thor.
Well, now we got multiverse noob masters. Yeah. Thor got to take care of him in multiple universes now.
I mean, for me, I think I'm just a little the show started out strong, which I didn't think it would, and the last couple, then a couple episodes here or there, kind of like that. I kind of like the WandaVision a little bit better than this, to be honest. WandaVision started out slow a little bit, but then it picked up at the end. It actually was I think it had a better finale for me personally, and then I loved Falcon Winter Soldier until the ending was a little lackluster, especially with the reveals. But I think for this one had hit 2 episodes straight out of the park, and then it had that filler episode, which I didn't care for at all. I didn't really like it, and I think in that, and then it was this. Then it had to make up for that. It slightly did. I think it's it had 3 good episodes and 3 not so good. So it was even for me, but it's just in terms of the Marvel shows, I think this is definitely my least favorite one so far. But that's me personally. I mean, I guess it just the build up to it, and like you knocked it out of the park, and then there's this. It just was just disappointing. Like, I mean, for some of the first show, I didn't think it was gonna be that good. It, like the 2 episodes, like knocked it out of the park, and then it just the rest of it happened, and it's just, yeah.
I thought 5 out of 6 were fantastic.
I thought 5 out of 6 were amazing. Even the one that wasn't amazing was still a good show.
Mm-hmm. Though the WandaVision finale was the best out of any of the 3 finales.
Yeah, for sure. But I think as far as finales go, I've seen far more disappointing finales than what we've gotten out of these 3.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
It could have been Lost.
Don, are you busy creating too
Or Dune.
Why?
If anybody's read the full series of Dune.
on the TVA to tell you not to stop making timelines.
I go back to Bobby Ewing in the shower.
It could have been Sopranos.
Oh my God!
I mean, this finale's not as on that level.
It could have been Supernatural.
No, it's not on that level. But for me, just in terms of the 3, I'm just basing off the Marvel stuff. That's the worst finales are in a separate category on its own. But it's just from the 3 so far. I've had like the 2 ones like were kind of lackluster. I mean, WandaVision started out quirky, and then I think if the finale was entertaining because it actually leads to something. This one leads to something, but it's just I'm left with a lot more questions and answers, and I just
that was the point, though.
I know for me,
it's opening up the next chapter in the Marvelverse.
But then we're going to
serve its purpose perfectly. Like I've never seen a show serve what it promised perfectly before. Besides, like this and a few other things. Like it literally did what it set out to do. It made you curious about everything that's going to happen.
I mean, we're going to be
ultimate like build up, ultimate anticipation. You're going to want to go and watch all that stuff day one so you can get your questions answered. And that's perfect businessmanship right there.
I mean, we're still going to be like waiting months before we find out any of the remnants of this in terms of that. I mean, the next show is Hawkeye, and I don't think it's going to have anything to do with Loki.
No, but you got multiverse.
Some months are going to be writing
that we know of
what's going to come.
Doctor Strange. You got Ant-Man and Wasp. You got Spider-Man.
That's 2022 for Ant-Man and the Wasp. 2023. 2022 is Doctor Strange. I think Spider-Man, but that's December.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You got 6 months to sit there and stew and prepare. And
all the other stuff, I my attention, unfortunately.
Well, it's better than other TV shows making you wait an entire year.
Yeah,
so you got it did.
Or Rick and Morty making you wait like 5.
Who made you wait 5?
Rick and Morty.
Or it could have been Hey Arnold. You had to wait 15 years.
Oh my God! I'm not waiting for another 15 years.
Since we're going Nickelodeon,
we're calling Nickelodeon out.
As a representative for Knicks everywhere, fuck you.
But, I mean, I see the frustrations, but as a filmmaker and just a nerd, I think it did exactly what it needed to do, and it couldn't have done it better. I think the writing...
Two different audiences, and that's fine.
Yeah.
It just, for me, it just didn't fulfill it. Like, I mean, I'm a huge Marvel fan, but it just... since we had we had to wait a year, like a little over a year just to get a show. We got WandaVision, which again, it was quirky, but I enjoyed it as it is. I had a lot of the moments. I loved the throwback to all the TV shows and like the ending one about how they set up, like, because we knew Scarlet Witch is going to be in that, so that just at the interest more. Loki now, and he's in Doctor Strange, but there's a lot of like we didn't know when Loki's going to show up. But I think it's just for me. I'm just left, like I said, I'm just less with more questions and answers, and then just for me, like for a finale, like we're getting a season 2, but I just kind of like to know like bigger pick, like this little stuff. I would have liked at least 2 post-credit scenes, not Loki's coming back for season 2. I liked something more, kind of like, and it didn't feel like a post-credit scene. It's like, hey, it's coming back, even though a lot of people knew that before they watched the show.
Mm-hmm.
I know. Well, they haven't been consistent with their post-credit scenes, and I think that's done on purpose, just so you won't get into the routine of thinking that they'll have one.
They left you enough questions. The post-credit scenes just develop more questions.
Mm-hmm.
They already left you enough. They already left you tantalized and wanting more. They didn't have to tease you anymore.
So, morbid theory. I was just thinking about this. Sorry. The cloud monster. Kang says he somehow, enchanted it or whatever to get it to do his bidding and guard the door for him.
Yeah.
What if the reason he's pruning everyone, instead of like fixing timelines and whatnot, he's just pruning them right in front of that monster's mouth to feed the monster, keep it happy and healthy.
Makes sense.
So literally all of those people that they're kidnapping and sending off to die,
their food,
are dying for no reason other than feeding his pet dog.
They're puppy treats.
Oh yeah,
like
they're Scooby
snacks.
Just to feed the machine.
Yeah, they're Scooby snacks.
What if they're not really dead when they get eaten by the monster? They're just sent somewhere else.
The creature's whole purpose was it completely annihilates and erases everything it eats. That's what he explains.
Consume.
And they're literally just, they cease to exist. It's permadeath.
Or I don't know. I mean, everybody seems to be lying in that universe, so we don't know. Like,
it's also it's a comic book.
Guys, it's all a simulation. It's part of the Matrix. World's flat. Wake the fuck up.
The world's run by lizard people.
Well, that one might actually be true.
Yeah. Well, where's my leather coat and shades?
But also, too, though, we just have to go on to the fact that it's a Loki show. It's fantasy tied into some realism and stuff like that.
High fantasy, high sci-fi.
Right. So, we have to have some misconception of what's going on and stuff like that to cover up, some of the other stuff that might be appearing in Doctor Strange and stuff like that. So I totally get it.
Still might be a little more entertaining than Shang-Chi.
Oh, that looks like it's going to be amazing. Don't even get started.
Oh, you should hear our trailer reactions. John and I aren't impressed.
Well, here's the thing. I wasn't impressed with the martial arts part or anything like that. As far as his origin story goes and the stuff that they dived into, I dug that. But it's just the martial arts stuff within that universe I really felt underwhelmed with, because I saw better martial arts stuff with Snake Eyes.
Which I think is the exact same movie in a sense.
Snake Eyes. That movie looks bad.
That was great. That was awesome. But
the angles, the acting, the cuts, the writing I've seen so far. Ugh.
Watch it win like 5 Academy Awards.
Oh my
dude, those G.I. Joe movies haven't even gotten above a 55%.
No,
they're not
they really haven't.
anything.
Hey, the Rock was a lot better than
G.I. Joe.
The Rock version was a lot better than that Channing Tatum first one. Like, to make it, that was garbage. The second one was a little bit better.
No, there's no improvement at all. It's a flat line.
Made more money though.
Bottom of the barrel.
Which one made them a lot? Both of them, or just the Rock?
I prefer Michael Bay's Transformers over the G.I. Joe movies.
They added The Rock to it. I think they had Bruce Willis in it.
Oh yeah.
Megatron has more dynamic range.
Yeah, true.
Megatron put on a
That's Hugo Weaving. I mean, we're talking about Agent Smith here, so of course he's got a ton of range.
Yeah.
But
the voice of Megatron.
So
yeah, I would take Transformers over G.I. Joe any day.
Oh yeah.
Not that last Transformers. That one is not as great.
No,
Bumblebee?
Yeah.
Bumblebee was great.
Bumblebee was great. I love that one.
Bumblebee is great in every movie.
No, I was talking about the last Michael Bay one. The last Michael was The Last Night. Michael Bay had nothing to do with Bumblebee. It was somebody else.
Right.
That's why it was good. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. There's a female director that did Bumblebee, and she knocked that one out of the park.
She should take over them.
Yep, I agree. Strongly agree with you on that.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as this show goes and everything, I enjoyed it for what it is. I thought it was really great. I thought all 6 episodes, despite some of the fallback on that other one and everything, I liked it. I thought it was fun, a fun episode. and everything for the season finale. I thought it wrapped up everything it needed to wrap up to get us geared in for Doctor Strange 2 and the Multiverse of Madness. So, with that being
sorry,
said,
John. I want to clarify. It was actually Travis Knight that directed Bumblebee, and that's a guy.
I thought it was a female though. I thought it was a woman that directed
it. I think it was a female director of photography then or something.
Yeah, that's it. That's what I'm thinking of.
Oh,
yeah, it was written by Christina Hodson.
Writer was a female.
Yeah, it was Travis Knight was the director of that, and that's a guy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I just couldn't remember. I knew that there was a woman involved somewhere. I just didn't know what it was. So, thanks for clarifying. But with that being said, guys, I do appreciate you guys doing this for all the episodes and stuff like that.
Always.
I do appreciate you guys taking your time out of your night and everything. I appreciate you, Nick. Even though you were doing house hunting and stuff like that, you still managed to come on and everything. And said,
"Oh Lord!"
and said, "You know what? Screw house doing this and everything. I'm going to come on his show and everything and geek out with us." I do appreciate that from everyone.
That really means a whole lot, man.
You're very welcome.
So much.
Screw you.
I ain't put you on the house hunting because that's
But anyways, guys, Clinton, where can everybody reach you at?
All right, you can reach me at R Productions 93 on Instagram, R Film Productions on Facebook. That's pretty much all I got right now. Working on a couple other social medias. Next time I'm on here, I'll tell you those.
And John's
bye, John.
Don't put more timelines again. Seriously, somebody needs to call the TV to stop him.
Okay. And so, Nick, where can everybody reach you?
You can find me at Instagram, NC Kafkis, or you can also find me at my agency page. I'm with Babes and Bows Talent Chicago, or on Facebook.
Okay. And tomorrow night, guys, 8 o'clock Central Time, 9 o'clock Eastern, 6 o'clock Pacific Time, we have the Boston Badass page from the movie Trivia Schmodown. Tomorrow night, we're going to be reviewing The Town, the Ben Affleck movie, tomorrow night.
That's
and then Friday,
that's like my favorite movie.
Mine too.
Oh my God!
Get ready for my Boston accent to come out.
Ain't good.
That's all I can
say. I might call the TVA.
Matter of fact, I think this is why I keep on popping in and out, is because the TVA is trying to shut down my podcast because for some reason or another,
I have to keep on, John. You're diverting the timelines.
I know.
But another thing too is Friday, Charlie and I will be back, and we're gonna be doing trying to finish off our Fast and the Furious franchise movies and everything too.
I'm so sorry that you're watching all of those. I'm so sorry.
I know. What are they on, like 200? Are they
doing it for family?
My God.
To be honest with you, I'm enjoying.
They on 9.
I'm actually reviewing. I'm actually enjoying reviewing these. To be honest with you. But I didn't like the Fast 9. If you want to see a really good rant by me, go ahead and check that out. If you want a good review from Charlie, check him out and everything too. But it's good to be diverse like that, and that's why I like the back and forth. I'm
finally getting my revenge on John and letting him rant because he's always forcing me to rant. So payback.
Right.
He's doing it for family.
Exactly. And Corona. And the Corona.
I mean, the last one we did was the best one. We did Fast 5, our last review, and that's the best one.
The best one's Tokyo
Drift. Yeah.
Yeah.
Followed by Too Fast, Too Furious.
Yeah, I like Tokyo Drift.
But we're going to be doing Fast 6 on Friday at 8 o'clock Central Time, 9 o'clock Eastern, 6 o'clock Pacific Time. And that's everything that we're doing here at Movie Lovers Unite. I'm going to be on Mount Schmodown coming up on Saturday, where we talk about all the competitors from the movie Trivia Schmodown, about past and present. So go ahead and check that out at 3 o'clock Central Time, 4 o'clock Eastern, and 1 o'clock Pacific Time. Then, of course, if you guys want to get an audio-only podcast of this episode and many things that we do here at Movie Lovers Unite, you guys can go ahead and get that wherever you guys get your podcast from. If you want to show me some love and everything and donate to the page, how do you do that? Just go on ahead, go to GoFundMe.com/Movie Lovers Podcast. And that's how you can donate some money over there just to keep the lights on here at Movie Lovers Unite. And then, of course, if you guys want to, go ahead and follow me on Facebook at Movie Lovers TV Lovers Unite underneath the same brand name on Pinterest and as well on Instagram as well. As a matter of fact, I just signed on for TikTok. I don't know why, but I decided to give that a shot.
Oh, no, John, you're going to be ruined.
Yeah, Tamika pretty much put me on. It's like, hey, try out TikTok. I don't even know what I'm doing on TikTok. I don't. I don't have anything.
Neither do they. So
the TVA is definitely going to show up, John.
Oh my god!
And then, of course, if you're a sponsor,
oh my lord.
If you're a sponsor and you want to reach out to us, just go on ahead, email us at movieloversunite@gmail.com. Of course, go on ahead and follow me on Movie Lovers Unit on Twitter, and also to underneath the same brand name on stereo as well. And that's everywhere that you can actually find us at and everything. I hope everybody has a great and safe night. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Always until next time, guys, it's been fun. It's been real. I can't wait to do this again. And by the way, hit that like button, smash that share button, smash that subscribe button. And that's everything that you guys need to do here. And bye-bye.
Bye.